Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Coach Chris coming at you at almost around noon on Saturday, May 31st. That's Central Time. And I'm coming at you with a new video. I've been working for over the last 6 months on something, and it involves auto trading using Autobots. These are programmed algorithms and programs that run in NinjaTrader, and I've now got them running on TradingView. And I started by buying some, and I'll talk about that in another video. Right now, the marketplace to buy them is filled with fraud. I don't recommend you going out and buying one unless you really know what you're doing. You're an expert at technology and the platforms. The majority of the algos right now are written for NinjaTrader simply because um, they have the ability to create them fairly easily and fairly bulletproof, and they are 100% automated. However, your results are going to vary. They do have a back testing feature in them, but in my opinion, it's filled with errors no matter which way you do it. So just be very careful. All of the ones that I'm aware of, which is most of them, are very overpriced. So that's enough on that subject. I'll have a specific video covering that very near future. So what I have done is I have and had a trading strategy that I used on and off that was very successful. And now through the use of AI tools and really becoming an expert at the TradingView platform and their PineScript abilities, have now got to the point where I have developed a strategy that will automatically trade. And what it trades on is on NinjaTrader. However, it uses a lot of people aren't aware that that this exists. It's a web platform. It's not a standalone program. It's actually a browser based trading platform, and it's very much like Tradeovate, which they also own, by the way. And basically, what it does is it takes a well, it doesn't, you have to set it up to do that. But basically, the way that this works is you set up what's called a strategy, not an indicator in TradingView. It's using the Pine editor. And what it does is when your strategy has an alert function, and when that alert function fires, it goes over here. I'm just gonna let me just do one thing here. This since today is Saturday, there's no results. We'll go to yesterday's results just to show you. So yesterday, using this automated strategy, it made a total of 36 trades. I had 900 or I had 26 of them were profitable for $906, and 10 of them were not profitable for $593 lost, leaving me with a gross P&L of $313. This was yesterday, which would have been Friday, May 30th. Yeah, you can see right here, there's some other stats I'll take a look at in a second. But basically, let me just close this out so you can see here. Close. So this is the NinjaTrader platform, and as you can see here, it's very much like what Tradeovate is, since they're the same company. So basically, as I was saying, this is a 2-minute window over here, and this is a 5-minute window here, and I just use this for different reasons, not related to this video. So as I was saying, the strategy fires off what's called a webhook, and then there's an intermediary program that you link to your brokerage account, which in this case is my NinjaTrader account, and it will enter the trade automatically. And you can see here I'm trading 2 micro contracts of the NQ, so it's the MNQ June 2025 expiration. And so far, in the last 3.5 months, I'll show you the statistics here in a second. This started on February 16th. Using 2 micros per trade, the gross P&L on this, or net P&L, not gross, is $20,000 $98. And it has a $2,251 drawdown. That's 103 days. So on average, it's kicking out about $200 of profit. Just this one strategy, trading 2 micros. Yesterday, it performed. Let's just go to trade performance. And if you see this, it looks just about like Tradovate. See if I can enlarge this a little bit. I got to go to yesterday. And you can see here again the net P&L, gross P&L, $313, $38 in commissions. Now, having said all of that, okay, let me before I go ahead to what I was about to say. So this is yesterday's chart. I trade this on a 5-minute chart. And this is the chart of the activity. What a really nice day yesterday. It wasn't the greatest for the algorithm, I'll tell you that. Luckily, I was on the right side. Let's just say you can see here, all of these entries you can see here, where there's a number here. This was my entry. Okay, I went red is short, obviously, and blue is long. So it entered into a short way up here. Okay, came down, I caught this whole move, reversed at this time, and I bought 2. You can see how nicely it caught that deep V pattern, which really helps things out. This particular system does not do well in chop like this. I mean, what's going to happen is you're either going to get a negative trade, a small negative, or break even, basically. But due to the nature of strategies, it's up to you. The way I envision this is to leave it running as often as possible and not interfere. That's what I'm trying to achieve with this particular strategy, is a hands-off strategy. Now, because you don't know. This is the problem. You don't know. Here we had a nice downturn, for instance, and the strategy caught it. But then you don't know if you're going into a period of chop like this. But even these chops can sometimes make you $30 or $40, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you're trading as often as this trades, for instance, yesterday, what did we have? We had a total of 36 trades. Say you made $30 net per trade, that would have been a $900 day, which it was. I had 900, but obviously, you're going to get some down trades. There's no strategy that is going to be perfect. And in fact, this strategy does not have a very good percentage as far as winning goes. And that's another thing I'm going to get into in a second when we start to analyze the data. Your strategy doesn't have to be, everybody thinks, well, hey, I won 98% of my trades. That to me doesn't say one thing other than that it's unlikely that will be sustainable unless you're just making very small profits. But you can make a 99% winning rate, and if all of those are like $10 and $20 wins, and then the last one is a $2,000 loss, it doesn't matter to me. All you have to ensure is whatever your winning percentage is that the times that you do win, that it massively outweighs your losing. Now, look at this trade, for instance, here. I mean, we're looking at, so we got in here. There's my entry. What is that? 250-point move, times 4. That's $1,000 trade right there. And then we caught it back up. Unfortunately, we got caught off sides and a couple other, and that's one of the things we're working on. So, now that we know this is our baseline data, for instance. So, I haven't had a lot of time to really dig into this, But knowing this, when I looked at this yesterday, let me just go down here. So where you test these strategies is in the lower window of TradingView. Let me just go back here a second. You'll see there's a bunch of tabs here. And so where we're going is here's to the strategy tester. And you can see this opens up. And so here, this first button here is the overview. My total P&L was $20,100 with a $2,200 drawdown. So, as I was saying, 20,000 total P&L, 2,200 equity drawdown, 1,800 total trades with about a 40% profitable with a profit factor of 1.271. And we're going to dig into that in a second. But I just want to go over this here for a second. This is another performance tab that kind of summarizes things, a trade analysis, performance ratio, and then this last tab shows each of the individual trades, okay? And you can see here I started this back on February 16th of 2025, and I'm just going to reverse this, and the 1,802nd trade was yesterday, and in fact, for some reason, it didn't close before the market closed, but that's fine. It will close automatically. And now you see here, these were the two big run-ups. I didn't catch 100% of the run-up or run-down, but you can see here, some pretty big numbers down here. So let's go back to this overview. So what I did this morning was, obviously this is a great P&L over that time period. Most people would be happy with that. Okay. However, if you're running a prop firm, which you can or you don't have to do, you can run your own funds, which is what I'm doing. There was a maximum equity drawdown of $2,200. And when I looked at my list of trades, you can see here how, let me just see if there's any I can come. Okay. So here, let's look at this trade here, for instance. I lost $186 on this trade, and there's actually several of them here in the road. There was actually a run-up of $100 on this trade and a drawdown of $186. So what I need to do is build in to this strategy a way. Now, this one would have been a losing trade, but what I want to do is cap my losses. There's no need once I get up over $100 in drawdown to continue, to draw down. The likelihood of that trade reversing at that point are unlikely. And either way, if I can minimize this equity drawdown and also this gross loss here, it will all basically go into here. And so what I did was, if you go here, this is still in the TradingView strategy tester, under the report, right down here, there's a tab called Export Data, right down here. And what this will do is, it will export all of these tabs into an Excel spreadsheet, okay? And each of these. And so what I did is, for analyzing data, there's a AI tool called Julius.ai. And there is a free version of this. And so what I basically did is I uploaded all of that data in the spreadsheet to Julius to see if they could assist me in eliminating some of that P&L, or the loss rather, the drawdown. And so what it first did is it created a heat map of all of the trades. This side here is day of the week, and this is hour of the day from 0 to 23. There's 23 hours, obviously, worth of trading. Now, this was helpful to visualize it, but what I wanted to do is I wanted them to break it down into a bar chart, total P&L by day of the week, and then by hour of the day. And you can see here some interesting results. You can see here the big green bars on every day except Thursday. Now, over Thursday, over a 100-day period, I did make $750. So I'm still debating whether I should trade on Thursday at all. Because you can see here, these are all, 10 or more times that. I may just eliminate Thursday out of the equation. I have not decided that yet or not. But it's interesting to look at in this form. I would have never known by the raw data, because this is what the raw data looks like here. We're talking, 30 plus trades a day, that Thursdays of all days is the day that's very, very much underperforming. Then the other thing I asked it to do is break it down by the total P&L by hour of the day. And you can see here some very interesting things. At the 0 hour, so that's between midnight and 1 a.m. And now these time zones are in Central. We lost almost $1,200. But here, look at this. This is the 8 o'clock hour. $3,700 loss. I'm not that concerned about this. I want to say that is, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is 1,900 hours. I lost $70. Had a little blip up here. But then you can see here on the 22nd hour, we lost $300. And on the 23rd hour, we lost $1,400. Okay. And there it charted it, gave me a little analysis. And so what I then did is I asked it then to filter out my results, eliminating the 0, 8, 22, and 23 hours. And you can see what that did. Look at on Thursdays now went from $700 in profitability up to $1,800 in profitability. And here's the results by hour of the day. Okay. Now get ready for this. So with that information filtered out, we wound up with a net P&L of $46,000. Okay, with a very minimal drawdown. So what I need to do now, and then here, look at. I asked it then, based on those filtered results, what is the average daily profit? $525. So what I am now going to do is modify the strategy, obviously, to eliminate trading this particular strategy during the 0, 8 a.m., 22 and 23. So actually, we could just go the 22, 23, and 0. Those are consecutive hours. And then also the 8 a.m. hour. And this is a chart of what it looks like. I mean, I could eliminate this one, but I don't know if some days that's actually these are average numbers. So $70 plus or minus is not going to affect me in any way. So you can see here how, look at these numbers here. The other thing a person could do is just trade here from 9 a.m. to, what is it, 15? Just trade during those hours, But here, these are nice numbers. I mean, we're talking, a substantial amount of money there. So you can see here by using a little analysis by an impartial AI program, how they can affect us. Intuitively, you would have never known this. You cannot just look at an Excel spreadsheet and come up with these because of the way that the data is presented to you, the raw data. It's very, very difficult, to see. This is just a chart over time of the 1,800 trades it took. So having done that, what I'm now going to do is go ahead and modify the algorithm that's doing the automated trading and put a filter to filter out those particular time periods. Once I have that in place, I will then and get some results for the AI. I will then work on filtering it down on a take profit, trailing stop, and stop loss to tweak those parameters and to see what result that has on my net P&L and my drawdown. Ideally, there is going to be drawdown with any strategy. It's impossible for it not over time. In the short term, you may get minimal drawdown, but over a 3.5 month period, that should be enough data to give you a fairly accurate idea of what type of drawdowns we're dealing with. I'd like to cut this in half, or say get down to around a $1,500 drawdown, and obviously that will increase this number, substantially. So if I could get up to $25,000 with a $1,500 drawdown over that period of time, I'd be happy with that, because then we can scale the number of contracts and or copy trade it over multiple accounts in order to grow that. So that overall is what I've been up to. Stay tuned, because there will be more videos of both the algorithmic trading or Autobot trading. However, people call it algo trading. It's not really algo trading. An algorithm has nothing to do with the actual trading. It's an algorithm is just a mathematical equation. Some indicators are run on algorithms. I mean, so algo trading is a misnomer in my opinion. It's automated trading. And this is on the TradingView platform. I prefer it. I prefer some things about it, just mainly because I prefer the charting that is here. The NinjaTrader automated trading actually allows you more options on your and is simpler for the actual ATM or the automated trading strategy. Once you're into the trade, how the trade is handled. This right now, because the trades are not actually being executed within the TradingView platform, there's a third-party intermediary that takes the signal from here and then actually implements it. There is an intermediary step involved. That complicates things a little bit, but it does work fine. In fact, I rather enjoy it. And it will only get better from here. Now, I've got a fairly profitable strategy. Can I kind of squeeze it a little bit more to get ultra efficient and profitable? Because let's just say using 2 micros, I can get this up. We're around just under $200 a day on 2 micros. So let's just assume 100 per micro. If I can get this base strategy down to, say, get that figure up to $250 plus per day for 2 micros, and get this number down to 1,500, it will be an extremely, extremely powerful system, and one that's very easy to implement and run. So that's all for today. You all have a good weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Coach Chris out.